In the time of the Cairn of the Mounds, when the Pure Lander tribes worked together, there was a Garou called Warpaint's Endurance. When he took the Sept Totem spirit into himself, a few of the Ragabash saw dark changes in him, and quietly began calling him Caern Drinker. He led a group to prevent a hive from forming, and after he gathered the Theurges, bound the potential hive totem within him, and killed all who saw. Warpaint's Endurance went with his tribe to stop Eater of Souls, but it was a ruse, and slipping through the worm's very belly, he waited, now a Malfian entity, bound to that realm and the works of the worm. A few hundred years passed, and two cairns joined together into one. With the bones of Caern Drinker, a gem, and the bones of a beast gathered, they presented them to River's Run, a Garou bound in Pangaea, to forge the Sept Clave. Over the years, worm creatures began to awaken from their imprisonment. A nest of thunderworms, an ancient vampire, a bear spirit filled with hatred, a host of veins of righteous anger. Worm spirits called grey masses turned men into fungus famori called grey men, a new drug called thunderroot, and a spirit of possession called Gualchu. All of these were the manipulations of the one called Caern Drinker, and he was discovered. A call of war went out, but not only was Caern Drinker too strong to be defeated, he also had been named in the prophecy that he would be there at the apocalypse. Thus the plan was to trap Caern Drinker in the battlegrounds. In the real, a group would defend the cairns from the repercussions. A Corax told where the worm had struck. Using a helicopter, they arrived on the very mound that had once been the site of Gualchu's binding, to find a welcoming party of Fomori. Defeating them, they then found black spiral dancers, and finally Gualchu. The Gaians were victorious, the cairns spared from a terrible fate. Meanwhile, the second group traveled the Umbral Realms, to charge the cage that would carry Caern Drinker. A conquistador ship, the Santo Miguel, and its umbral reflection, was used to sail these realms, towing behind it the cage. First, they went to Erebus, toward the island in the center of the Silver Lake. Second, they went towards the Utena homeland. Their next realm was the Cyber Realm for electricity to charge the cage. But then they were sailing in an all-white corridor, the Null Zone. Escaping to Pangaea, they were then able to be transported immediately to the battlegrounds, to wait. Meanwhile, the third and final group descended into Malpheus. Arriving to a sea of fish corpses, and then a Malfian torturing Gaian Garou, they were forced to the entrance of the Garden of Nightmares. But to get to Caern Drinker, sacrifices were made, and the dragon awoke. Finding Caern Drinker, it was with a flash of silver that the cage was revealed, and so he was caught. In the cage he was pulled through the realms, just as the Sept Alpha leapt from the ship to meet him.